Hey everyone, this is my bachelor's intermediate presentation. Let's get started with a small recap. For my thesis, I'm working on the research question, the positive effects of cozy games on players suffering from mental health issues such as anxiety disorders and/or depression. Regarding my theoretical part, I created an online survey that right now is still in the phase of collecting answers and participants. For sharing the survey to the right target group and to as many people interested in the topic as possible, I created a QR code and asked some influencers, gaming-related companies, YouTubers that create content specifically on cozy games, some official cozy game Discord servers, developers, and of course a lot of friends to fill out the survey as well, share it and promote it. I plan to evaluate the results during the next week. The last 2 months I have been focused on the practical part mainly, where I could make tons of progress. Here's what I accomplished so far for Sundown. I finished a game design document and set up Jira with all the tasks and organization to keep our work nicely documented and trackable. I created this huge asset list to have an overview on what I need to create, where to find it, and what needs to be done. I've also created a daily task schedule for myself where I could see every day what my planned tasks are and what needs to be done. This helped a lot avoiding situations where I'm not sure where to start and what is priority. Here's an insight into how it all came together. Let's start with first things first, the assets. All the assets that I produce are modular. Basically, the original form is always just in grayscale. That means I'm adding all the colors in the engine, making every asset incredibly reusable, and giving us tons of options for variations, not only through the different shapes, but also in colors. So the same mushroom in over 100 different color combinations? It's possible. The very first thing we implemented into the project was the time map for the ground. This was at first a tiny bit challenging, because I never worked with isometric time maps in Unity before, and I ended up redoing the whole map with all its different tiles 3 times until I finally got it right and understood fully how they work. Meanwhile, my programmer was working on the inventory system. The player can pick up and drop items from the inventory, equip clothes and accessories to their own character, see their current money balance, which in this case is a jar with fireflies, and of course also sort the items regarding their categories. Next important big system was the dialogue system. The player can explore and eventually meet an NPC, in this case one that is very willing to talk to them. There are different options to choose from in case your answer is needed, and very interesting and sometimes tragic stories to learn about, but sometimes even more. The people in this world really need the player's help, and the player needs their help as well. So let's talk about our quest system. The quests are displayed and can be checked on at any time in this little quest book on the bottom right. There opens up a progress bar on the right that can be toggled on and shown as a reminder at any time, and a description of course of the quest itself. In this case, Amon wants us to craft an axe, which brings us directly to the next big system, the crafting system. He told us to get 8 sticks and 4 stones that should be laying around trees and rocks. We collect the items and bring them back to him. Nice! He seems very happy about the successful quest. Now he allows us to use his craft bench. And there we already have some recipes. We collected everything for the axe and now we can craft. The axe should now be in our inventory. Let's check it out. Yep, there it is. Awesome. With the systems being almost fully connected with each other, we have our gameplay working out pretty well so far for our first prototype. Let's talk a bit more about the art and animations. A huge thing that makes this world look so alive is the animations of everything. I created a wind shader for the trees, bushes and different plants, which now already adds so much to the liveliness of the world. Apart from that, some things like the decoration on the house of the NPC, the hanging lanterns and the leaves got their own animations as well, to add even more character to it. Talking about characters, I designed and then animated both the player character and the craftsman NPC, and gave them first a standard idle animation and another cute short idle that gets played randomly every once in a while when they are just standing around for a moment. Apart from this, I created a normal walk animation for the player and also a run animation, which enables the player to go through the world either slowly to enjoy the view or speedrun through it if they want to. The craftsman also got his own walk animation, enabling him together with a nice script of my programmer set up to randomly walk through the world a bit on its own, giving him a very simple artificial intelligence. The same, by the way, also for our creatures and bugs that are crawling around in the world. I made some ultra simple animations for them, and now those little critters run around in the world just waiting for the player's bug net to be catched. Which brings us now to what still needs to be done until the final. For the project we already implemented a lot. The main systems are all working well together so far, and the whole basis of the gameplay works. Now just needs to be expanded and put in even more details for our vertical slice in the end. The only big thing we didn't finish yet is the shader that is supposed to make the world look darker and less saturated for specific areas. So far, the world that you see is at its brightest point, already having all glowy things and light there. Now we need to figure out a filter or a mask to tone that down and make it progress later into more light and colorful together with the progressing in the story. Other than that, we're still missing the little companion bird that's supposed to follow the player along in its journey, and the rest is just adding more usable tools like a pickaxe or the bugnet, polishing and adding more infrastructure and new assets to the game, as well as some beautiful sound design. And of course, we're starting the playtesting now. Some friends already did some playtesting. Now we're setting up a small feedback form as well to send the build around and make it available for even more friends. So the last 4 weeks until the final deadline, I will fully focus on writing the thesis, evaluating the survey of course, and other than that, working out some more small ideas for assets that I had, illustrating a title screen and other small things that need to be done. That is it for my intermediate presentation, and thanks a lot for listening.